Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
We're starting a new fucking book of the Bible.
It really doesn't feel like a new book, though, because it's just a continuation.
It's Second Kings, not First Kings anymore, but Second Kings.
It's the same book.
I mean, yeah.
Part 2.
Right.
It's just part 2
of
they made the same book.
Yeah, right.
So that's less exciting.
It is less exciting.
But still, we get to mark it off a list as another one down the hole.
Yeah, so instead of marking one book off, we can mark 2 books off.
Woohoo!
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do chapter 1 of 2 Kings.
Sounds good. Let's go do it.
Let's go do it.
Hey wife, do you like coffee in the morning?
I sure do, husband. Morning, noon, night. Which reminds me, I need to add that to our grocery list because we're running low.
Wait, before you do that, check out the website ungodlybrew.com where you can purchase a pound of your favorite flavor of coffee.
What if I want more than 1 pound?
Either order a larger amount, or better yet, get 10% off by setting up a subscription for every 2 weeks, or a month, or whatever works for you.
Did you set up something special for our listeners?
You know I did. Exclusive for our listeners, get an additional 10% off subscriptions by entering the code SACRILEGIOUSCOFFEE at checkout.
That's a hellishly good deal.
Ungodly Brew is hellishly good coffee.
Okay, 2 Kings, chapter 1.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
After King Ahab's death. Call me Ishmael.
I was waiting for it. I almost said something else, but I was waiting for you to say that. I knew it was coming.
I was waiting for you to go, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
No, that's just in my head. I let you do whatever the fuck you want, so.
That's because you're a good husband like that. I appreciate that you allow me to do my things.
I mean, I've definitely criticized, even publicly on here when you do certain things, but I'm like, we get done with something, I'm like, please, don't do that again.
And then I just ignore you and do whatever I want
right,
anyway.
Generally. Sometimes you listen to me.
Sometimes I do. But
occasionally.
Not often.
I mean, it's hit or miss.
Often enough to stay married. So after King Ahab's death, the land of Moab rebelled against Israel.
Okay.
Because of course.
Sure, yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Right.
One day, Israel's new king Ahaziah fell through the lattice work of an upper room at his palace in Samaria and was seriously injured.
Okay.
He fell through the lattice work?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Why was he on the fucking lattice work?
That
seems like lattice is like the, interconnected wood that's got holes all through it, like a fence, basically.
Yeah, was it
on
his roof as one of the battlements and...
Right, but what was he doing on the fucking lattice work? That seems dumb.
That's what I'm saying, I don't get it.
I wouldn't walk on lattice work.
Did somebody shove him?
Maybe. I mean, that could be.
Okay, wait, he fell through it. Does this mean that, it was not the lattice work that stands up and down vertically, but probably, across horizontally?
And he old-fashioned Florida room or something.
Okay, so he was standing on top of it.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. That's the image that's in my head.
So he was standing on top of it and fell through. Why was he up there?
That's what I'm saying. Why the fuck was he up there?
Lattice work can't hold your weight.
Right. Well, maybe he was really light. Maybe he.
Okay,
I don't know.
You should always assume that lattice work is you're going to fall through.
Right.
You should always assume
don't stand
that.
Yeah.
I would expect a child to maybe fall through because
if you went to go buy lattice work at Lowe's, they probably have a warning that says don't stand on this.
Yeah, cannot.
This shit can't hold people.
Cannot exceed a half pound.
Right? Yeah.
like no cats allowed. And
It's
our
lattice work.
cat is 13 pounds.
It's lattice work,
our
dumbass.
cat would not be able to walk across lattice work without falling
I wouldn't
through.
want her to try it, yeah.
No. Good grief. This
Right.
guy's dumb. Okay.
Right.
He fell through that in his palace in Samaria. I like that they tell us where the palace is because maybe he's got more than one. It was the Samaria one.
Yeah, okay.
And he was seriously injured. So he sent messengers to the temple of Baal-zebub. Baal-zebub. Baal-zebub?
Maybe.
Okay. The god of Ekron. Oh, it is. It's Beelzebub.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
But they wrote it Baal.
Okay.
Instead of
Baal-zebub.
Beelzebub.
Baal-zebub. Beelzebub?
Baal-zebub. Okay.
Okay.
I gotta...
We're going to have to look that one up.
Yeah. Like, what's a Baal-zebub?
Right, what's a Baal-zebub?
Is it different from a Beelzebub?
I don't know.
How many Beels would fit in a ball? The god of Ekron, to ask whether he would recover. Do you...
To add... What?
He's
asking a god...
He sent messengers to the temple of Baal-zebub.
To ask a god that's not God. I mean, at least not God of the Bible.
Will I recover? Ask him, will I recover? Am I going to be okay?
Okay. So he's not asking God. He's asking...
That guy.
Baal-zebub.
Yeah. But... The angel of the Lord, there's only one.
Okay.
The angel of the Lord told Elijah, who was from Tishbe.
Oh, so Elijah's back.
He never went away.
I know, but they had like that, whatever, the
Elisha.
other ones. Well, no, there was two other prophets. There was the one that was like a certain prophet, and then there was Micaiah. That sounds right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So but he's back now.
He's back.
Elijah's back now.
Yeah, and so the angel of the Lord told him, go and confront the messengers of the king of Samaria and ask them, is there no God in Israel? Why are you going to Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron?
Yeah.
To ask whether the king will recover.
The fuck?
Now, before, this is what the Lord says. You will never leave the bed you are lying on. You will surely fucking die.
Oh, damn.
Damn!
I guess that's going to happen because,
Right?
That's what happens.
I mean, they weren't even asking him.
Right. No, he just inserted himself into the fucking conversation.
For no reason.
Right, yeah.
Like, what am I doing to you? I'm not bothering you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just sending my messengers to them instead of you. I thought maybe I didn't want to bother you.
But he's offending God by asking another God that they're admitting is a God, apparently.
Yeah, because God is saying that God over there.
Yeah, don't ask that God, ask me.
Yeah.
Fucker.
So Elijah went to deliver the message. When the messengers returned to the king, he asked them, why have you returned so soon, fuckers? They replied, sir, a man came up to us and told us to go back to the king and give him this message.
Yeah.
Quote, this is what the Lord says, is there no God in Israel? Why are you sending men to Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, to ask whether you will recover? Therefore, because you have done this, you will never leave the bed you are lying on. You will surely die. Sorry, end quote.
Right, but like, okay, you work for a king, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not fulfill his request?
Yeah.
You just come running back. Some random guy comes up to you, who's like, hey, dude, God says this. You need to go tell your king. Don't you be like, dude, I work for the king. I got your message, but I gotta go on and do this other thing first.
Right, so. And then you go back to the king and you're like, so, on the way there, this other guy told us XYZ, you're gonna die. Mm-hmm. And then we continued on, and this is what we got from the other god, guys.
Right.
Baal-zebub.
Yeah.
And, either it's the same, in which case, whoa, you're in really bad luck, sir.
Right. But wouldn't you fear being in trouble if you didn't come back with the message he sent you for?
Yes, I would. Right. And anyway, I would be curious what the Baal-zebub guy said.
And also, if you came back with that message from fucking God, I'd be like, I don't care what you got to do. Put me on a goddamn cart. Get me into that fucking Econ place. Like, I don't need Yahweh's wrath here. Like, get me to that other God.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm not trying to get killed by him.
Right?
He's a smitey fucker.
Yeah.
What sort of man was he? The king demanded. What do you look like? They replied, he was a hairy man, and he wore a leather belt around his waist.
You know those hairy men that wear leather belts around their waist.
Elijah from Tishbe!
What the fuck? He knew him because he wore a leather belt and he was hairy.
because he was hairy.
That's what I said.
He's hairy.
He's hairy and wears a leather belt.
How many hairy people do you know?
Is he naked other than the leather belt? Because that's all that's it.
Maybe his hair was so hairy
he didn't need clothes.
It haired out of his shirt, like it
go.
popped out of the top of his neckline.
Maybe he was like Bigfoot, and he's He's like Bigfoot and just wore a belt around his waist. He could run really fast, so like
that's where they got the idea for Monsters Inc. Then he sent an army captain with 50 soldiers to arrest him.
Damn.
He's about to get it.
Right?
They found him sitting on top of a hill. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The captain said to him, "Man of God, the king has commanded you to, like, come down with us." But Elijah replied to the captain, "If I'm a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and destroy you and your 50 men. Oh, and guess what? Then fire fell from heaven and killed them all." That's what. How you like them apples? So the king sent another captain with 50 men.
See, why can't, when I asked, theists for proof, why can't something like that happen? Like, if I'm not a man of God, let da-da-da-da-da happen, and then God does it, and then you're like, shit, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Good enough.
I think I might examine this differently now.
Right. I mean, you do something like that in front of me, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck.
I will re-examine my premise.
Fire's falling from the sky, and you just ask for it to happen? Something's up.
Either you are a pyrotechnic.
A really good one.
Or maybe there's a God. I doubt it. Could have been coincidental airplane falling from the sky.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
saying.
But
back then,
I'm just saying I will re-examine my premise.
Sure.
I will be
But it would definitely
less...
make me think, like if you... So, like, if it's that easy to prove, you just ask God to do something.
Right.
And he does it.
Exactly.
Then just do that,
just
guys.
Do it.
Like, I mean, all you gotta do is ask him for fire, and he brings fire.
Clearly.
I mean,
Clearly.
Shit.
This book don't lie.
Right. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So, okay, and I want to make another point. It says the king sent another captain with 50 men.
Oh, so...
Like, he does that a lot. But the only time it is okay to send someone after you lost the first group is in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Arthur Dent takes a drink, and he's not sure it does the job. So he takes another shot of whiskey to go track down the first shot to make sure it gets there. Oh, that's definitely
acceptable, yeah.
Yeah, right? That's the only time you send somebody in after.
When it comes to alcohol, you definitely got to check that first one.
You got to make sure, yeah. And then I think he sends a third to check on the first two guys.
I mean, that's legit, yeah.
Right. But you don't send a whole captain and 50 men
right.
to go check on the first captain.
Assuming that the first captain and 50 men died too.
Right. The captain said to him, "Man of God, the king demands that you come down at once."
And are the charred remains still sitting there? Or
probably. Elijah replied, what do you think he replied?
If I'm a man of God, let da-da-da happen.
Fire come down from heaven.
Fire.
And destroy you and your 50 men.
And it happened.
And again, the fire of God fell from heaven and killed them all.
Okay.
Womp-womp.
Yeah. And why? If it was this easy, why was he fucking running from Ahab earlier and shit? Like Jezebel, running from Jezebel earlier. Like,
I would just be
he could have just dropped fire on their asses.
If I'm not a man of God, then God's gonna burn you and you and you and you, and I'd be pointing to everybody, but not him, not her.
It sounds like to me maybe Elijah had like a stash of like napalm around or something.
Oh damn!
And just like he lit it when they walked up. And he's like, there you go. There's your fire.
He was a time traveler, and he had grenades.
There you go. You go.
And they were like, "This is godly," and he's like, "Nah, it's grenades, stupid."
I need to watch. That reminds me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and the Holy Hand Grenade.
Oh,
that's such a great scene.
Those are good movies.
I'm just saying.
Monty Python.
That was all I had. Just Holy Hand Grenade.
Once more, the king sent a third captain with 50 men. That's just stupid.
Yeah, it is.
This is stupidity.
Like one guy has killed 100 of your men.
Yeah.
And you're sending another 50. Mm-hmm. That's
Makes perfect sense. This is called crazy, beating your head against a wall and expecting a different result.
Right, yeah.
But this time, the captain went up to hell and fell to his knees before Elijah.
Good on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He pleaded with him, "Oh, man of God, please spare my life and the lives of these your 50 servants. See how the fire from heaven came down and destroyed the first two groups? But now please spare my life." Oh, he's smart. He's like,
he is.
"I'm only here because the king sent me. I didn't want to come. I have no choice. Understand this, please."
Right, yeah. But the second guy, though, there were... I don't understand why. Why would you just die?
Right.
Right. He must have been looking at the 50 charred remains, and like...
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What the hell happened here?
Right, yeah.
What goes on?
I need to ask a few questions before we demand your presence at the king's court here.
And this guy played it smart. He was like, "I'm only here because somebody else made me do it."
Right.
So then, this is so smart. Then the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go on down with him and don't be afraid of him."
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that the first guy was like, or the first time a guy is like, "I'm scared of your God. Please don't kill me."
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden God's preening and he's like, "Okay, you can go with him now. I won't kill him. I'm pretty again."
Yeah. Yeah.
So Elijah got up and went with the king. And Elijah said to the king, "This is what the Lord says." The Lord who thinks he's pretty now. The Lord who is so happy to be feared.
Yeah.
"Why did you send messengers to Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, to ask whether you will recover? If there's no God in Israel to answer your question, therefore, because you have done this, you will never leave the bed you are lying on. You will surely die." So Ahaziah
Is that
died.
how it was said there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So Ahaziah died.
Oh,
just as the Lord had promised through Elijah.
Yeah, I mean, there it is.
Happened.
Yep. God brought fire down on 100 guys, and he killed that king.
Yep.
And so,
but he spared that third captain and those third set of 50 men.
God must be real, right?
Must be real.
There's definitely thousands of year old text. This definitely proves it, right? I'm totally not convinced.
Since Ahaziah did not have a son to succeed him, his brother Joram became the next king.
Okay.
I'll tell you what really happened. His brother Joram killed him.
Right, probably.
The end.
Yeah, he's the one that pushed him through the fucking lattice.
Yeah, right? This took place in the second year of the reign of Jehoram, son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah.
Okay.
The rest of the events in Ahaziah's reign and everything he did are recorded in
the King's Chronicle thing or whatever the fuck it is.
The end.
Yeah, that. All right.
Yep, that's what happened.
Was that. Yeah, God killed some people again.
As usual. Not to be, nothing surprising.
God's getting a little bit more, like we talked about it a few episodes back, like maybe in the middle of King somewhere. He was kind of being more hands off and stuff.
Yeah,
but he's getting a little bit more directly involved with Elijah around.
Yeah, he is.
So that's interesting.
It's interesting. It's also he wasn't being worshipped enough, and so that now he's like,
all right, I'm gonna get my hands dirty again.
Somebody call me pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna light fire to some people, and that'll make them pay attention.
Besides, I like killing. I haven't done that in a few centuries.
Here, hold my beer.
Exactly.
See if I still got this.
Clearly he does.
Clearly, yeah.
Okay.
He's now been gone for how many eons?
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you think he got bored, or do you think he died?
Maybe he died.
Probably died.
Yeah, sure.
He's not eternal. I don't care what they say.
Or he's just made up by humans.
Oh, that one. I picked that one. I didn't know that was an option.
It isn't. It is an option. Yes.
Okay. I wasn't aware.
Okay.
That's the one I picked.
That's the one we're going with?
C. It's always C.
It's always C.
Yep.
C is always the best answer.
It's also stands for cookie.
I did take a test the other day for something. Yes, it does stand for cookie. Sorry, C is for cookie. That's good enough. That's good enough for me.
Okay, but you took a test.
I did. Yeah, I took a test the other day, and every answer was B. Every fucking answer.
It's lies. That test was a lie.
I mean, I'm just saying.
What test was it?
It was a training course thing that I had to take.
Oh, for work.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they made every answer B.
That's
and I'm like,
stupid.
Okay, well, because I literally was just clicking through it to get done with it, and I started off by hitting B and it was right, and then I hit the next one that was B and it was right, and I was like, well, let's just hit B all the way through, and B, it was correct all the way through.
Oh my god.
I'm like, that was easy.
That's so stupid. I'm so unimpressed with your workplace.
Right? Yeah, I know.
All
right.
And you, to be honest,
I mean,
you couldn't even be bothered to read the questions. You were like, I don't care, la la la.
Correct.
So you could be a brain surgeon, right?
I'm not.
We haven't revealed your occupation.
Correct. I promise nobody is affected by this.
You're not in the medical field.
I'm not in the medical field or anything that this would directly affect anybody that I work with.
Or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
It's all good.
All right. Well, that was 2 Kings chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow we will be back with
2 Kings chapter 2. And just real quick, I want to say Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, also, I forgot. We're going to be doing a Patreon episode tomorrow, too.
Oh, yeah. Finally.
And we're going to be announcing something, like a free giveaway for our patrons today. So, if you get this episode early today, you still got time to become a patron for us.
Yeah.
And then you will be eligible to claim something from our giveaway. It's mostly just leftover swag from our convention, but free shit, man. Free shit,
man.
And you can sign up for as low as $2 a month for the patron.
Yep. You really oughta.
You really oughta. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep. We have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.